Hello and Happy New Year. Yes, I'm remembered to say it. I'm going to see how far I can go through the year by saying Happy New Year at the beginning of the show. Welcome to another edition of the Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com. The show this week is a mix of travel news and a destination called Switzerland you may have heard of. The travel news is going to be various surveys and news from around the world of travel, including the city of the moment, so you may or may not be surprised when I tell you what it is later in this show. My guest this week is Nick Robb, and just get his business card ready. Nick Robb is the Head of Sales and Reservations at the Switzerland Tourist Centre. And we're talking about Switzerland, obviously. It's not somewhere I've been, somewhere I've nearly been, as I mentioned during the interview, but I haven't been there yet. So we're talking about what you can see and do, and bits I normally ask my guests about destinations. So the first question I put to Nick was, how do you get there from the UK?
Many ways you can go. Obviously flying from the major airports in the UK is obviously the quickest and still one of the more popular ways to get to Switzerland. But what is becoming much more popular for clients is to take the train down to Switzerland, starting with a Eurostar from London into Paris, and then a TGV train down to various parts of Switzerland. And driving is an option and remains a very popular one still as well.
Seems a long way to drive, though.
It is a long way, but once you get over the channel, you can be in Switzerland in 6-7 hours if it's a good drive.
No, that's quicker than I thought.
Depends how far you then want to go into Switzerland,
Yeah.
But you can certainly reach Switzerland within 6 to 7 hours. Yeah.
Okay. At the moment, the weather's in the news because it's quite cold here. What's the weather throughout the seasons like in Switzerland?
So, historically, you would expect a big drop of snow just before or around Christmas time. The winter season sort of properly starts just before Christmas with the skiers going out, and the snow should generally remain through to end of March, and in some places even into April. So the ski season certainly is December through till end of March at least, and then we'll change in mid-April. And the summer season will kick off. The alpine flowers will come out around June time, and summer will remain through to end of September into October.
So is there a best time of year to go, or does it really depend on what you want to do?
It really depends on what you want to do. I mean, for skiers, winter walkers, snowshoers, cross-country skiers, and people generally after a winter landscape, then December, mid-December through to end of March is the time to go. For summer hiking and general summer lakes and mountain holidays, you can start going from May onwards through to end of October. October then, sort of November, beginning of December, seems to be sort of a down season where the weather is not summertime and the snow hasn't fallen across the entire country. So that's sort of guessed as low season, really.
Okay. This one, well, the language probably confuses most people. What is the official language of Switzerland?
There's no such official language. There's 4 languages spoken in Switzerland. German being the highest at around 65%, with French around 22-23%, about 9% is Italian, and then a very unknown language to some people is Romansh, which is a local language spoken in the eastern Grisons part of Switzerland, where it's about 1% speak Romansh. But the main language in terms of percentage spoken is German, followed by French.
Would I be okay without my second language skills and talking in English?
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
No problem at all. A person speaking English only will have absolutely no trouble at all travelling around Switzerland.
Oh, good. This sums me up. That does. English only.
It does, unfortunately, me as well. And I never have any trouble.
No, good. I'm very good at pointing in different languages when I get to the cafe. That's all I can do.
No, it really is. From restaurants through to people helping you on public transport, in shops, obviously all the tourist information places all have English-speaking people, and it really is very easy on the language front.
What currency do they use in Switzerland?
Well, the official currency is the Swiss franc, and that is a currency that, if you were to draw money out of a cash machine in Switzerland, that's a currency you would receive. Euros are widely accepted in Switzerland, but Swiss franc is your main currency, and the currency to have, particularly if you're up in the mountains and some of the smaller restaurants and outlets up there. Swiss franc is what you would need.
Swiss franc's been in the news quite a lot in the last few days. What impact would that have on a tourist?
Yeah, it's not been a great start for the currency for 2015. Obviously, as a lot of people will know, it dropped quite considerably in the middle of last week, but it recovered quite swiftly, and we're positive over the coming weeks that we can hopefully get back up to the heights of around 1.5 that we were enjoying at the back end of last year. It may be a slow process, but we're confident that we get back there, and so we don't see any major problems moving forward, hopefully.
Okay. You're listening to The Travel Show with John Guinn on ukhealthradio.com. In travel news this week, there's a survey about what tops the British holiday wish list, and it's from where we've been in British holidaymakers. You would naturally assume that the person who comes up, well, the people who come up with this survey were the Croatian National Tourist Board. But anyway, find out what the top 10 wishes are for the British when they go away on holiday later on. Our guest this week is Robb. He's representing Switzerland. We've done a little bit about the basics, but you may be wondering, why would anybody want to visit Switzerland? Isn't it just clocks and chocolate? Well, we're now going to start to find out why you should visit there this year.
Many reasons, John, many reasons. Again, depending on the season. It's one of the most snowshore resorts for countries for skiing, and most, if not all, of the ski resorts are not purpose-built. Villages that have been there for hundreds of years. It's a very, very pretty place to ski, and a very pretty place to visit in winter. Summertime, it's the lakes and the mountains, the scenery, the food, the wine, the overall experience of being in a country where everything functions and everything works. It's a very friendly place to holiday, a very clean place, a very safe place, great for families, and it's an outstanding place of natural beauty, both in summer and winter time. And there's many, many different types of holidays you can have in either season.
The idea of everything working, that really appeals to me, especially after the journeys over the last few days.
It is. It's if a train says it's going to be there, it will be there, and if it says it's going to leave at 9:02, it will leave at 9:02. And I think the amazing thing as well is, even in these small villages halfway up a mountain, that you can connect to the train that will take you back down, and you'll be in the city or the larger resort that you need to be in, and you can guarantee that you're going to be there. And really, whatever the weather, even a few 3 or 4 foot of snow doesn't stop the public transport network working in Switzerland. It's nice to see. Yeah, we could learn a lot, maybe.
We definitely could. Yes, we could.
Yeah.
What does Zurich have to offer as a city break?
Zurich is it's a really modern city, as well as having an old town. Zurich's really moved with the times. As a typical city break, you would expect shopping to be fantastic, which it is. Be that on the famous Bahnhofstrasse for your expensive watches, through to the cobbled streets of the old town. There is really something for everyone on the shopping front. You've got many, many museums in Zurich to visit. Particularly in the summertime, you've got the lake and the river where the locals will happily swim in their lunch hour. It's a real vibrant city and can be explored on foot. It's not the size of a city we'd expect in this country. Very, very beautiful. And you can be there in an hour and a half from the UK.
So I'm just imagining the places you describe it. I could do with some of that. But not the lake now, when it gets a bit warmer.
I mean, there's not many places where a river will run through the heart of the city, and you can just look at the water and it looks drinkable. And in the summertime, people literally are coming out of their offices and jumping in the river for an afternoon swim before going back for their afternoon shift at their desk. It's a fantastic city, it really is.
I wouldn't fancy doing that in the Thames. No way.
No, nor would I.
Are there other cities that are worth a visit?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, people will look at Switzerland and say the four major cities, being Zurich as discussed, the capital city of Bern, a beautiful medieval city, really, really stunning place to walk around, and Geneva, and Bâle, or Basel, as some people may refer to it to. They're your four major cities, each worth a visit for different reasons. But then you've got some of the smaller cities, like Lucerne or Lausanne or Interlaken, that are classed as cities in Switzerland, whereas we in this country may regard them as an old town or a small town compared to what we're used to. It's not a city such as Manchester, London or Birmingham. And each of the cities have, gorgeous old towns, lots of history, lots of museums, shopping and things to see and do. And Bern, for example, as a capital city, is highly, highly recommended.
I do like to see a bit of history, historic buildings. That's my kind of favourite.
In abundance in the Swiss cities. Well, not just in the cities, everywhere in Switzerland, be it an old church or houses of parliament or even an old chalet up in the mountains. I mean, there's a lot of history in Switzerland that people maybe don't first think of.
What about my phone call? I want to call my family.
Too late now.
Please, please, please.
Step through now, please.
Oh, no.
Too late now.
Here's the goods. You take them in false bottom bag, you strap them to your body, it's up to you.
Look, I've changed my mind. I want out.
Too late now.
So, you're offering me a free holiday?
Yeah,
I just have to bring back something for a friend of yours.
that's right. You get some serious cash.
Right.
Well,
Not too late. Don't get talked into trafficking drugs. Once you're in, the British government can't get you out. Don't throw your life away.
You can follow me on Twitter at holiday_hut. Regular listeners to the show know that I always go on about food. So what is the food like, and what is the national dish of Switzerland?
There is no real national dish as such. I mean, I could sit here and say cheese fondue, raclette, obviously dishes that people would associate with Switzerland. Rösti is also obviously very typically Swiss, as is what is called Alpen macaroni, which is a beautiful macaroni cheese dish with an apple sauce that after a day skiing up on the mountain is much appreciated.